Lately, I've been thinking about something that we don't talk about enough. I don't think parents have ever cared more than what they do today, and I don't think educators have either. So, why does it feel like so many of us are walking around asking ourselves the same question: am I doing enough? Welcome back to the Family Daycare Diaries. Over the last few videos, we've been talking about the pressure around childhood today. The pressure parents carry, the pressure educators carry, and what children really need from us. Today I wanted to bring those conversations together because I honestly think this is something so many of us can relate to. Whether you're a parent, an educator, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, or anyone who plays an important role in a child's life, I think most of us are trying to answer the same question: am I doing enough? The more I've thought about it, the more I've realised that this pressure doesn't come from not caring. If anything, I think it's the complete opposite. We care so much that we constantly wonder if we should be doing more, giving more, or somehow being more. But maybe that's the wrong question. One thing I've realised over the years is that parents are surrounded by more information than ever before. There are books, podcasts, social media, parenting pages, family advice, and expert opinions everywhere you look. While so much of that information can be incredibly helpful, it can also be incredibly overwhelming. It can feel like there's always another parenting approach to try, another activity to set up, another milestone to think about, and another opinion telling you what you should be doing differently. I honestly don't know many parents that wake up wondering how they can do less. Most parents I know are already giving everything they have because they love their children so much. I think we've all felt that little voice whispering, "Am I doing enough?" I know I've asked myself that question too. Even as an educator, there are moments where you wonder if there was something more you could have done. The truth is, I don't think this pressure comes from not caring. I think it comes from caring deeply. And sometimes when we care so deeply, we become our own biggest critics. I think educators carry a very similar pressure. It might look a little different, but underneath it all, I think it's exactly the same feeling. We care deeply about the children in our care, and we genuinely want to give them the very best we can. We spend time planning meaningful experiences, creating inviting environments, documenting learning, reflecting on children's interests and supporting families. Even after all of that, I think many educators still wonder whether they did enough that day. I know because I've had those moments. I've replayed conversations in my head, wondering if I could have handled something differently or spent a little longer with a child who needed me. Then the next morning, one of the children runs up to me with a bigger smile, gives me a cuddle, or excitedly tells me about something we did together the day before. It reminds me that while I was busy judging myself, the children experienced the day very differently. Over the last few years, I've stopped asking myself one question, and I've started asking myself another. Instead of asking, did I do enough today? I now ask myself, what did the children need from me today? Some days they needed me to sit beside them while they made endless cups of tea and coffee in the mud kitchen. Some days they needed me to listen to a story they couldn't wait to tell me. Some days they needed me to laugh with them while we chased bubbles across the yard. And some days they simply needed me to slow down enough to notice what they were already showing me. That one question completely changed the way I see my role as an educator, because it reminds me that children don't always need us to do more. Often they simply need us to be present in what they're already doing. I sometimes wonder if adults and children measure a good day in completely different ways. As adults, we often think about what we achieved, what we ticked off our list, and whether we were productive enough. Children don't seem to think like that. I think they measure a good day by how it felt. Did somebody listen to me? Did I laugh today? Did I discover something new? Did someone notice the amazing stick I found? Or the picture I was so proud of drawing? Those are the moments that matter to children. And honestly, when I think back to my own childhood, they're the moments I remember too. I remember feeling free to imagine, explore, and simply enjoy being a child. Those memories stayed with me because no one was rushing them. The more time I spend with children, the more I realise they aren't asking us to be perfect. They're not keeping score of how many activities we planned or whether every day ran exactly as we imagined. What they remember is who made them feel safe, who listened to their stories, who celebrated their little victories, and who took the time to notice their world. I think that's something we can all hold on to. Whether you're a parent, an educator, or someone who simply loves children, we all put pressure on ourselves because we care. But perhaps the very thing we're worried about isn't what children are looking for at all. Maybe they don't need us to have all the answers. Maybe they don't need every day to be bigger, busier, and more impressive than the last. Maybe they simply need us to be present enough to enjoy the ordinary moments alongside them, because those ordinary moments are often the ones that become extraordinary in the child's memory. I've come to believe that childhood isn't something we need to perfect, it's something we need to protect. And maybe the best thing we can do for children isn't to ask ourselves whether we're doing enough. Maybe it's to remind ourselves that love, connection, and being present have always been enough. Anyway, that's today's diary entry. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. I'd love to know if you've ever felt the pressure to be doing more. Whether you're a parent, an educator, or someone who simply loves children, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments below. If you've enjoyed today's diary entry, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take it slow, embrace play, and don't forget to look for the magic in the everyday.